Hi guys, my name is Tando. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you some non-technical roles that exist within the tech industry. These are jobs that do not require you to have a computer science degree and do not require you to know how to code. So if you are trying to get into the tech industry and you don't know how to code and you don't have a computer science degree, then this video is definitely for you. So the first role that you can do in tech without knowing how to code is the Scrum Master role. And a Scrum Master exists within what is called an Agile team. And within that Agile team, what you'll find is a product owner, developers, a QA tester, as well as the Scrum Master. And at the core of this person's job is to essentially serve that team and help that team continuously improve and meet and exceed their goals consistently. So a core part of that is facilitating meetings. It is also coaching the team. It is also helping the team overcome disagreements, as well as actually helping the team remove blockers, anything that could slow down their work, distract them. It's essentially helping them manage their work as best as they can, as well as find ways to work effectively and efficiently together as a team. So that is what a Scrum Master does in brief. And on a day-to-day basis, you'll find a Scrum Master facilitating a daily stand-up, which is a 15-minute meeting where developers and the product owner, QA tester, everyone within the Agile team comes in and essentially discusses what work they have currently and what progress they are actually making. And within that meeting, the job of the Scrum Master is not only to facilitate that session, but to also pick up on potential blockers and then work towards removing those blockers for the team so that they can continue their work. So that's briefly what a day in the life of a Scrum Master could look like. It does look very different from day-to-day basis, depending on the needs of the team at any given point. But this is such a great role, especially if you are an extrovert, if you like talking to people, if you like helping people succeed, then this is a really great role for you. Also, starting salaries for this role, when you have no experience at all, you're looking at earning anything between 40,000 rands up to about 50,000 rands on your first job. This is actually a role that I have. This is what I do for a living. So if you're interested in getting a little bit more detail in terms of how you actually go about becoming a Scrum Master, I shared how I became a Scrum Master in this video, so you can go ahead and watch it right after this one. The second job that I have for you is the software sales role. This is such a great role for people who are really good with talking to people and making sales and have that skill of selling. So at the core of this role is to actually sell the software that the company produces. So companies like Microsoft, Oracle, all have software sales people, and the day-to-day job of these people is to essentially look for potential new customers, reach out to those customers, nurture those relationships up to the point where they're able to actually make a sale and bring money into the company. And the really nice thing that I really like about the software sales role is that you're not only limited to whatever the company is paying you as your base salary, because you can earn commission. So if you're really good at sales and you're making a lot of sales during the year, you'd make way more money than you would just relying on your base salary. So here the earning potential is pretty much limitless, right? It really depends on the base salary that you get from the company that you work for, as well as the percentage commission that they are paying you per sale that you bring in. So this is such a great role for anyone with sales skills and who knows that they can actually earn a lot in commission. And of course, you can also do this role completely remotely. Next role that I have for you is the manual QA tester role. So no software company wants to release things that don't work, buggy software. They want to make sure that whatever they release into the market has been tested and they know that it works for different devices in different situations. And this is where the manual QA tester role comes in. QA standing for quality assurance. The role of this person is to essentially test whatever software has been developed by the company to make sure that it's working appropriately, which means making sure that it works correctly when it's connected to Wi-Fi as well as to mobile data, making sure that when you press certain buttons they take you where you're supposed to be taken to, and that everything overall is just working as it should. And if they find things that are wrong with the software, their job is to then report that back to the development team so the development team can address those issues before your product is taken into the market. So this is essentially what the manual QA tester role is. This is a really great role if you are trying to get to a point where you are a software developer yourself. So it's a great stepping stone because you get to test the software, so you get to understand the entire system. Plus, you can actually continuously develop your skills up to the point where you are able to become an automated QA tester, where you essentially create systems and build software to help test faster and much easier without having to do a lot of things manually. So it's a great stepping stone to automation testing as well as being a software developer down the line. So this role is really good for anyone who has those aspirations. For this role, the starting salary is around 25 to 30,000 rands a month in South Africa. But of course, we know that we live in a world where we work remotely, which means you will get a lot of opportunities outside of South Africa, which usually tend to pay quite a bit more. So obviously try and consider those as well. The next role is the technical writer role. This role exists in tech because they use so many different platforms, software to develop their products, and these are constantly evolving, as well as the way they build their products as well is also constantly changing and evolving. So the job of a technical writer is to actually make sure that all of this is being documented in guides and how-tos, so that other developers that come in the future, or when developers switch teams, they're easily able to actually read that documentation and get up to speed and be able to start adding value much faster. So that is what the technical writer role is about. It's about translating whatever the company is doing with their product and the way they develop it into actual documentation that can be read and referenced in the future or in different situations. And a big part of that role as well is actually sitting in meetings and discussing all of these changes with developers and with product owners to understand exactly what has been changed or what is being introduced, so that when they write that information in technical documentation, they can make sure that it is indeed the correct documentation. And they're also obviously in charge of making sure that all the documentation that they write is continuously kept up to date as things change within that company. This role starts around 40,000 rands in terms of income, and technically, even though you are writing a technical document, you don't technically need to have a technical background. Wow, I've never said technical so many times in a sentence. But you do not need to have a technical background in order to be a technical writer. But it's definitely beneficial if you do have a technical background, because it's much easier for you to actually understand all of the things that you need to do and how you can actually communicate that in the form of documentation. But this, again, like I said, is not necessary for the role, and you can definitely learn on the job. So that is the technical writer role. That a lot of us think about or consider when we're actually looking to break into tech, and that is the customer success or customer service role. And this job essentially entails talking to clients, talking to customers, helping them with their issues, as well as feeding back any feedback that you get from customers to the product team, so that they can make decisions in terms of if they need to change anything in the product, or if there's certain things that are not working properly that need to be fixed. So that is is the customer service role. It has a lot of interaction with the customers, getting feedback from the customers, and making sure that we keep customers as happy as possible. And I think a lot of us don't necessarily think about this role because it's a customer service role. You're not necessarily like in the agile team or in the engineering team or even in the engineering department, but it's such a great role to actually get into because it will give you a very great view in terms of how the company works, how the tech company works, as well as how you can advance within that company. And it also gives you the opportunity to start networking and learning more about the different roles that exist within tech so that you can make more informed decisions in terms of your career, as well as be able to interact with the people in the roles that you want to eventually get to. So this is definitely one worth considering as a way to actually step into the eventual role that you want. So the amount that you get paid for a customer service role can differ depending on the company you work for and the industry that company is in. But in general, according to Glassdoor, you're looking at getting around 30,000 rands as a customer service associate, customer success associate. And I think that's a pretty great income. This is actually also a role that I had previously before I became a Scrum Master, and it's a role that enabled me to actually be able to identify that I wanted to be a Scrum Master because I got to see those people do their jobs as well as interact with them and learn more about what they do while I was within the same company as well. So it gives you the exposure, it gives you that foot in the door that you need if you are aiming to get a different role within the tech industry. So definitely consider that one. I think a lot of us overlook it and don't consider it, but it's such a great way and probably one of the easiest ways to actually get your foot into the door when it comes to gain more understanding in terms of the different roles that actually exist within tech. It's definitely not just for developers, it's not just for technical people. Even you and me who are not technical can definitely work within the tech industry and also benefit from the various benefits that come with working in tech, including working remotely, as well, of course, as the great career development and income potential. So I hope that this video helps you. If it does, please leave a yellow heart down in the comments down below. If you watched till the end, leave me a yellow heart. I always love to see those. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer or maybe even make into a potential new video on the same topic, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll get onto it. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.